This is going to be Hellfire Ramparts as a protection paladin. So we're all done with classic dungeons for now. Oh, right. This is one of those places where if you approach the quest giver, you're likely to get attacked. I'm doing both at once. I don't even know if my healer's zoned in yet. Healer's a paladin, I see. By that holy light on me, right? I see Shadow Priest, I see some kind of Death Knight, and I see a Windwalker Monk. Neat. Right, yeah, so everybody else who ran this dungeon so far had something weird go wrong, and people being friendly, that's nice. But this run was just sort of normal and undramatic. Not too much going on here. Simple enough dungeon. Oh right, this is one of those, kind of one of those scavenger hunt dungeons. You have those Hellfire supplies or whatever they are, yeah. Stacks of boxes. There was one to my left, somebody probably already picked it up. Each person needs to collect 3 of them. Shadow Priest's going for it now. Alright, she got it. So a thing about all these scavenger hunts in dungeons, sort of figured it out. Like, I see people act like they're competing for the resources sometimes, and every once in a while will complain because somebody else is taking all of the ones that they need. But really, every dungeon always has enough of those resources for a full party. So all you really want is for someone, anyone in the party, to pick up every one of those resources you go by. Because that means there will always be enough for everybody who needs them at the end. Doesn't matter who. Once I pick up 3 Hellfire supplies, I can't take any more. So if you see somebody picking up some, you know, Serpent Bloom or Hellfire supplies or Sanguine Hibiscus is an exception to this because you can keep picking it up after you have your 5. But, you know, stuff like that, you know that there are more that'll be available for you later in the dungeon. So yeah, I'm happy to see someone picking it up, and it doesn't matter whether it's me or not. I believe during this run I only managed to get 2 along the way, and I have to go back for... Oh right, these actually respawn over the course of the dungeon. So yeah, when we get back to the beginning of this dungeon, that first pile of crates we picked up will have respawned, and I'm going to pick it up to finish up my quest, I think. Yeah, I think that's how it goes here. Man, I had like the messiest run I've ever had on this character earlier today. It was icky. And not in an interesting way, so you probably won't be seeing it. But yeah, this one usually, Protection Paladin's pretty easy and friendly to play, and usually feels nice and comfortable, but every once in a while, somehow I just end up in a group where it's just not possible to feel good about things. No one has any fun. Everything goes bad. It's rare, like it happens a lot more often on my other characters than this one. But somehow it happened to her today. Not this run, though. This one's going fine. I get disarmed, which is annoying, but a lot of my abilities still work. I think it just disables Hammer of the Righteous. And my my auto attack, of course. Alright, Watchkeeper Garglemar there. You gotta be careful because he patrols all around. I'm kind of moving back to open up a space to fight him, but he turned around, so instead, the space we opened up is gonna be to fight the dudes who are in his area. He does a knockback attack, so that's the way in which someone else is likely to get involved with his fight. Other than that, you can just stand still and wail on him, I'm pretty sure. But he does knock back. So with careful positioning, you can make sure you're not in range to get knocked back into anybody problematic. But it's better that they're just not there at all. Going for those. Okay. I guess I figured they might get involved in Garglemar's fight. So that's reasonable. Most of the groups I see go through here end up skipping those. Including probably the ones I'm leading these days, because I'm more confident about positioning and don't feel the need to make it completely safe over there. I pulled with a taunt? Oh, I probably didn't have Judgment or Avenger's Shield. Yeah. They're both on cooldown, I think. So his dudes, the Hellfire Watchers with him, will cast healing spells on him. He calls out for healing. I've never seen those spells go off. I wonder if they will heal him for an amount that matters. I don't know. He acts like he enjoys dying for a moment, but then changes his mind. Am I going to pick up these boxes while we're in combat? How will that work? Someone else probably is. No, I got him. Okay, cool. There are some under the stairs, or ramp, I guess, but they're kind of out of the way. Let's not bother. Casters refuse to all get in a tight little group there. Oh, and they cast Fear. Interesting. I forgot there was a Fear effect here. There's like nothing around for it to matter, but there is Fear here, apparently. Everybody in this dungeon always goes down so quick. I believe this one is not in Burning Crusade Time Walking. Yeah, I don't think I've replayed this on that setting. So yeah, this is always just like everybody in the dungeon gets totally stomped. Just because it's tuned to be, you know, an easy first little dip into the pool of Burning Crusade dungeons. Some of the enemies out here are theoretically skippable, but I don't know, they're close enough together that it just feels like it doesn't make sense, so I end up fighting everybody in this little landing here. Just seems easier and more straightforward. Or maybe I do skip those way over on the left. I'm being super careful about this. Being sure to get just one group at a time. I guess damage is looking a little spiky here. So even though everything dies quick, they also do a lot of damage to us. So yeah, this is one of those weird dungeons that awards completion early. So you go for Omar the Unscarred here. That's right, I told that story about my Discipline Priest when I was healing this place, yeah. So, had a thing happen because I didn't understand that it awarded completion early. But everybody knows now. I haven't seen anybody, like, drop group after this guy before Fazardin the Herald or anything. You'd think this is something that would have been fixed sometime in the, like, 8 or 9 years, no, more, like 12 years that this dungeon has been available. But I guess not. Yeah, it seems like very few changes, if any, ever happen to old dungeons. Other than, like, I guess number retuning. Your torso is a mouth. That seems weird. Fiendish Hound comes here, but then dies so quick it doesn't matter for anything. I don't think I ever figured out what it means when Omar the Unscarred grins malevolently. It tells you about it. Treacherous Aura. I don't know, there are mechanics here, but they just don't matter. That's just shadow form. I guess Treacherous Aura goes away when he dies. I was trying to see what it is, but I didn't get the chance. I guess technically you could route this so you go for Vazradin before Omar the Unscarred, but the dungeon entrance is down this ramp right in front of me, and it just makes so much more sense to route it the other way. And, you know, Omar the Unscarred is the first on the list here. So I don't know, it just seems like a weird little oversight that is the way that completion awards. Or I think it's... Wait, Illidari with an A. That's spelled wrong. Oh. Huh. That's weird. I think it's the achievement awards for Omar, but completion as far as, like, the dungeon finder is concerned requires this dude. So that's even weirder. It's like just the achievement that's messed up, I guess. Nazan is actually targetable right now. I'm gonna throw a judgment at him. Nope, he's out of range. This place is so sad. Just everything dies when you breathe on it. Yeah, it does its best to hurt you before that happens, but it happens so fast. Oh well, it's fine, I guess. This game's always kind of been about endgame content, I guess, but also it takes a weirdly long time for that to happen. But I don't know, there's all this vestigial stuff in between that could be interesting if it were tuned a little differently. I just always have to lament when stuff like this happens, you know. What could have been, but isn't quite. I guess it must be a level 60 talent that gives me 2 charges on Divine Steed. Because I only have 1 right now. And I do get 2 eventually. Alright, I need 1 more supply. So let's go find 1. You needed 1 more too. You were doing the exact same thing I'm doing. But yeah, they respawn, so you can just come here and get another 1. If you need it. And it's not too far away. Each race gets their own type of mount for Divine Steed. Draenei gets an Elec, Zandalari gets a Direhorn, Human gets a horse, of course, etc. Alright, well, that's Hellfire Ramparts. See you next time.